in the States, there's an airline called Southwest Airlines. And what Southwest found in doing a study of what is the repeat business from people who experience the funny video, the flight safety video at the beginning of a flight, as opposed to people who get the boring video, okay? And what they found was that the people who watch the funny video, who see the funny video or hear the funny announcements from the flight attendants at the beginning of the flight spend 1.5 times more than the people who do not hear that. Whatever the pits are that you identify in your customer experience when you chart out all of the major milestones that your customers go through, find the pits and think about how can you flip them and turn them positive. So our takeaways from the peak end rule are: design positive beginnings, design surprise and delight peaks, ending peaks, flip the pits, and then celebrate the milestones. There's a hotel in Los Angeles, California that does this well. It is not a nice hotel. It is the Eurowings of hotels. Sorry, Eurowings. But it is not a nice hotel, but it commands 5-star reviews consistently. It's called the Magic Castle. Why do people rate this hotel that's just an average experience so highly? It's because California is generally warm, much like it is here today, and sunny. And they have a bright red phone by the pool of this hotel that says Popsicle Hotline. And anyone at any time can walk to the Popsicle Hotline and pick up the phone, and it's answered Popsicle Hotline. And you say, bring me a popsicle, and put it down. And then a gentleman comes out, dressed nicely with a silver tray with several popsicles, and gives you popsicles. They do the same thing with Kit Kat bars. That's it. That's the peak. Everyone forgets it's a 1970 motel that's run down and not that nice because they've got a popsicle hotline. What is your popsicle hotline for your customer? That's what you need to identify. Okay. When we look at the things that customers complain about the most, they are communication, waiting too long, whether in line or online, getting shuffled around from person to person in your company. You don't seem to care. You overpromise but underdeliver, or you're not listening. This is what customers' #1 complaints about our businesses are. Our biggest complaints as owners, as entrepreneurs, as operators of businesses are it's hard to get clients, and it's hard to keep them. And we have a hard time finding top talent. Managing customer expectations, because customers expect everything and we sometimes can't deliver on everything. Getting them the results that we promise and that they want, and adapting to industry changes. Those are the biggest challenges that we generally face as business owners. Almost all of these can be fixed with communication. If you tell people that there's going to be a wait, they will be happier. At Disney, there are signs that say, you are 37 minutes from the ride, right? You're giving them an expectation. Online, some people say, your call is very important to us. It's not, or they would answer, right? Your call is very important to us. Wait time is approximately 17 minutes, right? Then, getting shuffled around. If we just tell our personnel, our customer service personnel, what they need to know so they're informed about the customer and they have the authority to make decisions, we don't have to shuffle people around. If we communicate that we do care, then it appears that we do. If we are honest about what the expectations of the customer should be, that also fixes that problem with communication. And obviously, if you listen, then you're not guilty of not listening. Also, if you're communicating and you solve these problems, you will get more clients. You will keep them longer. You'll be able, because your clients are happy and your employees, who are a form of client, will also be happy. You'll be able to attract top talent. You will have managed expectations, and the results that you deliver will be the honest results that you promised. So think about how to implement communication across every point of customer touch in your business. So how do we measure this? Increasing customer loyalty and reducing churn are some of our top priorities. And a study from Bain says that reducing churn by 5% can increase profits by 25 to 95%. So one way to do this is through a Csat score. This is customer satisfaction. The question you ask your customer: on a scale of 1 to 7, how satisfied are you with our service? On a scale of 1 to 7, how satisfied are you with our service? Those who give you a 1 to 3 response will never be happy. They're not happy people. They're miserable people. 80%, however, of most of our time is spent with these people. If you spend most of your time here, you become a complaint manager. You do not want to be a complaint manager. Where you want to spend your time is on the people who say they are satisfied 4 to 6 out of 7. And you want to move these people to a 7. When you do this, you'll find that study after study says they are worth 9 times more than the people we spend 80% of our time on. Spend more time making these people happy, less time managing the unhappy. So, how many of you have flown Virgin Airways? A few? Okay. So Virgin plays a kind of a funny, entertaining video at the beginning of a flight. British Airways starts to do this too, and now in the States, there's an airline called Southwest Airlines. And what Southwest found in doing a study of what is the repeat business from people who experience the funny video, the flight safety video at the beginning of a flight, as opposed to people who get the boring video, okay? And what they found was that the people who watch the funny video, who see the funny video or hear the funny announcements from the flight attendants at the beginning of the flight spend 1.5 times more than the people who do not hear that. For Southwest, it equated to about 132 million euro, the price of 2 airplanes. 2 airplanes, simply improving the customer experience from the boring announcements to the entertaining announcements. That's a lot of money. So, another way that we measure is Net Promoter Score. So, Net Promoter Score says how likely is your customer to recommend you to someone else. And you've probably seen this. They have them now at airports and everywhere online, the little unhappy faces all the way to the super woohoo faces, asking on a scale of 0 to 10, how happy are you? You categorize the responses. 0 to 6 are detractors, 9 and 10 are promoters, and 7 and 8 are neutral. So to calculate your Net Promoter Score, all you do is take the number of promoters minus the number of detractors and divide by 100. Why track this? Well, brands with the highest levels of brand advocacy, this is NPS, grow 2.5 times faster than their competitors. This is why the companies that are buying other companies want customer experience to be high, because they grow faster, they're worth more, they earn more, customers stay longer. It also improves referral marketing. So a couple more statistics. 80% of happy customers will recommend your business, and people who come from those recommendations will be 70% more likely to buy and be worth 16% more. Again, let's see how this works out in euros. So if we are increasing referrals 80% and we start with 100, that gives us 180 after. If our conversions increase by 70, we go from 2% to 3.4. Our lifetime customer value from 16% increase would take a 10,000 euro lifetime customer value and increase it to 11.6. So if we multiply 100 per 100 customers times 2% times 10,000 euro, that means a 20,000 euro value. But on the other side, with the increases after, it's a 70,000, almost 71,000 euro difference. That is a 355% increase in value. This stuff makes a difference. And remember, everybody can learn about it, but few people do implement it. It's not something that will ever go away. It's better than the latest hack. So some key points to measure. Some surveys that you should have always on. This is using a software called Medallia. Touchpoint intercept surveys. At certain touch points that you identify as important, you take a survey. Abandonment intercept surveys. Don't just send the email. Tom mentioned, I think earlier, send emails to abandons. That's brilliant. Also, ask why. When you know why, then you're able to fix that the next time. Post-purchase surveys. Find out how happy they are after the purchase. And last but not least, targeting and segmenting surveys to find out exactly what types of messaging you should be delivering to these customers. So to help you with this, we have an exercise we call the Customer Experience Elevator. And here's how it works. So we start with what is the best possible customer experience that your customer can have. This is something I heard from Brian Chesky, who founded Airbnb, and he was being interviewed on a podcast called Masters of Scale, which I highly recommend. And what he said is, he said, at Airbnb, we start and we say, what is the perfect 5-star experience that a customer could have today, currently? When you write that, that's the best experience your customer could possibly have. It can't be any better. That's kind of depressing, though. Because if you don't do anything different, then you have no improvement of customer experience. You can never have a happier customer. So at Airbnb, they start with that, and then they say, what's a 10-star customer experience? And for Airbnb, they said, well, when a customer comes to the place, when they come into town, they're greeted by a parade like the Beatles would have been given in their heyday. And the mayor will appear and give them the key to the city, and they would be taken in a limousine to the place they're staying, where they would be greeted by the person who owns the property and given flowers and magazines, and there would be a stock of wonderful things for them to consume while they're there, and Egyptian high thread count sheets on the bed, etc., etc. So they create this impossible experience. It's impossible because it would not be financially practicable or that easy to get most mayors to come every single time someone came into town to give someone the key to the city, but it's a starting point for improvement. It's basically brainstorming what are all of the things that you could do to make you wrote the 5-star, the current best possible experience. What are all of the things that you could do unconstrained by money or ability to make the experience better? Then, dial it back to the new standard. The new standard is the 7-star experience. Maybe we can't have a parade when they fly in, but maybe we could send them a car. Maybe we charge for that. Maybe we raise our prices a little and charge for that. It's a better experience. It distinguishes us from our competition, and the customers are generally, 64% of the time, remember, willing to pay more, up to 18% more. And usually even more than that, if you really design something special. So now we've dialed back from the impossible to the new standard. This is the new 5-star experience, right? And we keep doing that iteratively, again and again, at least once a year, preferably once a quarter, and you will make a significantly better customer experience overall. And then, last but not least, read your reviews online. If you don't have reviews, then take your worst customer experience stories that you have had. No matter how hard we all try, we drop the ball from time to time. We fail to deliver what we want to deliver. Those are the opportunities for improvement. So last but not least, write your 1-star unacceptable review so that you will then have the ability to identify here the new things to do better or to add, and here the things to fix, and you will create a significantly better customer experience. When you implement the customer experience elevator, you will get the benefit of all of the improved statistics, all of the improved dollars that I showed you earlier. It makes a huge difference. So here is the exercise for you to give to your team. When you get home or later today when you have some time, you could even get with other people here and do this. Take 3 minutes to write your 5-star review. Then get with a group of people. This is important because you need other people's ideas to see the things that you're missing currently, the opportunities that you're missing to serve your customers better. So get into a group of 4 and introduce yourself, describe your business, and read the current 5-star review. Then take 4 minutes to just brainstorm the 10-star review, and 4 minutes to create the 7-star review that steps back from that impossibility and impracticability to something you can actually do. And then read your online reviews and write your 1-star review. And remember that peak end rule, because here is the opportunity for you to create big surprise and delight moments for your customers and to identify the pits to flip. When you do this, you then can create your customer experience story. So for us, I don't know, how many of you came here last year? Okay, great. So thank you. Ryan Dice, my business partner and digital marketer, spoke about the customer journey last year. These are the stages of the customer journey: awareness, engagement, subscription, etc. What you want to do is take the information that we just went through and fill it out for each stage of your customer journey. Identify the setting. Where are they? Facebook, Instagram, your landing page, an opt-in form, etc. Your Fab 50, that's the feelings, actions, and beliefs form that we showed you, right? Are they confused, overwhelmed, etc., skeptical, reading the page, etc.? Who is the team that will be responsible at this stage of the customer journey? And then what is the experience that you want them to have at each of these stages based on everything that you've identified from the customer experience elevator? When you go through this, you will create a significantly better customer experience. And I think that not only will you make a lot more money, your company will be worth a lot more, your customers will be happier, and your employees will be happier as well. That is my presentation today. Thank you very much for spending time with me. I hope that you found this helpful.